Hello everyone, my name's Chris Oakley and you're watching the third Football Attic video blog. Very good of you to join me. As has happened on the previous two videos that I've recorded, basically what happens is I spend a short while talking to you on the subject of an item which I've plucked from my personal memorabilia collection. And it's of course football memorabilia we're talking about, football nostalgia. This time around I've got for you a book. It's a book which I have a feeling many of you will recognise in some form or another, because there were many different versions of this book made. In fact, I think it may even be still being made now, actually, although I need to confirm that. Maybe you could help with that. If you know better, then get in touch. I'll give you all the details later on. But anyway, the book of which I'm speaking is this. The European Football Yearbook, and as you can see this particular version is dated 1995-1996. By the time this book had been made, there'd already been several previous versions, one of which was one that I actually owned. This isn't it, but there was this one. Now I actually owned this book, not specifically this book, but because this one I bought on eBay recently. It was one of those things you could kind of see on eBay and you think, oh, I used to own that, I used to have that once upon a time, and it got lost, or I threw it out or something, and you feel the need to kind of, fill that hole in your life again. And indeed, it's that kind of personal crisis that I found myself in recently. I owned the European Football Yearbook, in this case 1988-89 edition. I'm not sure if this was the first one they ever made, but certainly it was one of the early ones. But I'm going to specifically talk about this one, which is, as I say, 95-96, on the front cover, something which would catch the eye of lots of people like myself and perhaps yourself if you happen to be into football kit design, and that is lots of illustrations of football kits and the way they've been designed. The primary function of this book, however, is to actually provide you with statistics about football clubs all across Europe, as I suppose you'd expect from a book with this title. So if we just kind of open it up here, let's see, we go in, essentially it lists every single club at every single European country, in every country. So for instance, here's the first one here, we've got to the Albania index, and there's 19 teams listed. And you go in first of all, and you have Albatrol, Patos, followed by Apollonia Fia, and so on in alphabetical order. And essentially the format of these pages, you probably can't see it, but I'll give you a close-up here. You get what it calls the club directory, which is the sort of stuff you'd have seen up at the top of the first page for every club in a Panini sticker album, if you catch my drift. So things like the club address, the name of their stadium, the name of the president, the secretary, the coach, the name of the stadium, the capacity of the stadium, and all that kind of stuff. A little kind of club profile. So you got that on here. You've also got the number of appearances made by every player in the squad during the 94-95 season. Appearances, goals, all that sort of stuff. Position that they play in. And then there's also the results for each team throughout the 94-95 season in that country. So for instance, I can tell you that Flamutari Vlore, they drew the opening game of the 94-95 season against Albasani 0-0 away. Lots of information for every team across Europe, as I say. Not just sort of results and a personal profile of each player or whatever, but also lots of incidental information as well. For instance, at the front of the book, there is a little bit of spiel, because this book was made in the season leading up to Euro 96. So, therefore, there is a comments section written by Mike Hammond, whoever he may be. I'm not entirely sure who he is, but it's interesting. He talks about the Champions League such as it was in 1994, and the fact that he said if left uncontrolled, the competition could expand, it could lose all its meaning, and it could be basically a self-serving vehicle for the big teams in Europe. So interesting comment made there. There's also some details about the qualifying matches leading up to Euro 96. So you get to see who did what in each group. But let's be honest, if you walked into a branch of WH Smith's and you saw that, what would you think was inside it? Not a load of statistics. No, no, no. You'd be probably picking up and probably buying it as well on the basis that this book contained lots of pictures of football kits. And luckily, there are some. They're in the middle section. I don't know if you can just see that. There's a kind of middle colour section there. Don't know how many pages that lasts to, but quite a few pages in the middle. Let's have a look, shall we? Because of course this is the thing you'd be buying the book for. Nice little cover page here featuring lots of badges from badges and kits, in fact, from national teams. And in we go. Whee! National Federation. So we start off again with Albania. Very nice Albania kit, that. And then it goes on Armenia, Austria, Azerbaijan. And of course many of those countries fairly young as they were back then too. So that adds an interesting slant as well. So, you know, it goes on and on. As you can see here, we have various different teams, and essentially what you get is the badge in the middle, and then the home kit on the left and the away kit on the right. Very nicely designed, bit sort of square and angular, those football kits, but nonetheless, it's all very nice. Of course, if you buy football books from years and years ago, you'll find lots of different styles, but quite often you find that they only sort of draw the shirt and the shorts, which is a bit strange, because I always think the socks, you know, are a valid part of any football kit. So anyway, beggars can't be choosers. Once we get on past the national team kits, we then get on to the clubs for each country in Europe. And he says, trying to find a particular page to go with. Oh, let's go with Croatia. Why not? What you get, again, for each country, 2 pages. And on the left-hand page, you get all the kits for the teams in the First Division or Premier League or whatever it happens to be for each country. And on the right, those badges for the same teams. And it's just wonderful. I mean, what can I say? I mean, you can just spend hours looking through just the colour section in the middle. I mean, you know, the statistics, fine if you're a football commentator or something, you know, if you're, you know, statistician of some sort. But really, it's the old Subbuteo wall chart syndrome, really. It's that thing of looking at lots and lots of different kits, all the colour combinations, the different styles. And I mean, there's some absolute classics in there. If you think that this is, you know, 1994, I mean, here's a Czech Republic, for instance. You've got those Adidas kits there that my Football Attic colleague Rich Johnson loves so much. One there in blue, one there in yellow. You've also got, let's see if I can find some more. Let's see, there's bound to be more. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I mean, Greece as well, same Adidas kits. Lots of those doing the rounds, as I'm sure you can appreciate, as well as many others as well. It's just wonderful, and you can actually get these books, this one, and indeed the other one that I showed you earlier on, this one here from 88, 89. On eBay. You can get them for as little as £7 or £8 plus postage and packing, which is pretty good. So not too expensive. And they're just great as far as providing a pictorial history of football kit design in Europe is concerned, really. So do seek them out. They're very nice books. And of course, you know, if you want to bore your friends on Twitter with statistics about various clubs throughout Europe, excuse me, that was my phone buzzing and nothing else. Then feel free to have a look for those on eBay. Plenty of them, and they're not too expensive if you hunt them down. So there we go, the European Football Yearbook. If you've got any memories, or if you own the book, if you have a particular edition that you like, even some kits within the book that you specifically like, then do get in touch with us at the Football Attic. I can give you the details. It's at Football Attic on Twitter. The website is www.thefootballattic.com, and we're on Facebook at facebook.com/thefootballattic. Come and pay us a visit, drop us a line. You can also email us as well. I forgot the email address, admin@thefootballattic.com, and tell us what you think about the European Football Yearbook. Anyway, for now, for this third video blog, from me, it's goodbye.